Hello, welcome back to 8HD Fabrication, home of this mid-engine VR6 swap 1991 Honda Civic hatchback named the Volkswonda. This thing is very close to being able to start, then shortly thereafter drive in a state that I'm calling the prototyping period, which essentially is just me wanting a proof of concept on this thing before I arbitrarily locate things, like the wiring, brackets, fuel lines, AC lines, coolant piping, intake, exhaust, and a whole lot more. After I'm sure that mechanically everything works well, I can start finding permanent homes for all of that stuff. I fully intended to have the VR6 back in the Honda and have it running in this episode, but due to a big oversight that I made, we have to get creative in deleting our power steering pump while also retaining the AC. Be sure to stick around to see the solution I came up with. If you enjoy the content, or just want to see this thing drive here soon, be sure to hit the subscribe button and watch the video all the way through. It's free, it helps a lot, and I appreciate it a ton. Let's get at it. First things first here, we gotta put the transmission back on the VR6. I didn't Google the suspension, and so this is a 2 to 4 inch lowering kit, which means that the strut itself is actually 2 inches shorter than the stock one. Normally that probably wouldn't be a problem. That'd be awesome because I'd want to lower it. But I already lowered this car, like it's pretty much its maximum by putting the subframe and the engine further up in the car itself. So if I put those in, then I'm gonna have issues with the tubs being physically possible to make big enough to fit the wheels. Since they're stiffer springs, and I'd be maxing the spring stiffness out to try to gain all of the height that is possible out of this, and only be lowering it 2 more inches, only. Worried that this is just going to add more variables, essentially. Because, yes, the spring will be stiffer, but it'll already be 2 inches lower. I don't want to have to think about it. So in the future I can get a fully threaded set of suspension, which means it's threaded here and it has a thread here with a lock nut just like that, so this bottom section can get longer and shorter as well. And I'm pretty much going to need that in order to have full adjustability in the back end. So as much as having dampening adjustment would be cool, these are going to be at max spring tension, and it's going to be lower and probably add variables that will make things a problem. So in the future, I'll just do suspension as an upgrade. But even though the struts aren't going to go on, we do need to pull this off so that I can spray all of this down and put the R32 sway bar on here and figure out the mounts for that. Alright, we have forged sway bar end links with bushings and all. I'm definitely satisfied with how they turned out. I was gonna round off the corners and grind them and do all that stuff, but again, in the essence of this being a prototype and me not knowing if this is gonna ride well or even clear, I did do some guesstimation and measurement with old pictures and everything, and I'm pretty sure that this is gonna clear the axles just fine, but again, it could drive really weird and I need to take this down or up or I don't know. So until I know that those are going to stay, I'm just going to leave them ugly and functional. When we know that they work, we will clean them up a little bit and round them off and make them look a little bit better. That's all I'm doing for tonight, but I'll be back on this early in the morning. Alright, it's time to get some stuff done on this so that we can get the subframe put back in. Alright, I'm satisfied with that on both sides. That should be the last major fabrication that needs to be done. I'm sure we'll need to, weld little brackets and stuff for the prototyping. But that should be the last major fabrication that we need to do before we can start putting the subframe and the engine back in. Alright, I know I said all the major fabrication is done, but now it's the next day. I had to think through a solution to deleting our power steering, but keeping our AC. If you delete both of them, there's no issue, because then your belt can do all the same stuff and wrap around here, and you can take it right down to there. The only difference, you have to run a 6-rib belt instead of a 7, so that it doesn't hit this bolt right here. If I were to be deleting AC, then this would have been an easy solution. I would have gotten a shorter belt. I plan to retain AC, so I'm having to do some bullshit. Let's figure out how to do a power steering delete while retaining AC. All right, we left off on these at about 9 o'clock or so last night. It is Monday. It's 2:40 or something like that in the afternoon. I just got done with work, and I would like to still get this engine in there and potentially have it running for this video. But I also need to edit hours worth of footage and get this video out tomorrow on Tuesday so that I stop being late on my upload schedule. So we'll see what comes first. Well, let's see how much work we can get done in the next couple hours. Looks decent. Looks just weird enough that if you powder coated it and had it in there, it might even look like a Volkswagen part. It's a very odd shaped thing. But I grinded it all down, gave it a nice finish. It'll definitely get painted, but I think I'm gonna get into powder coating things, so I don't want to put any paint on it to have to strip it off of it. But as annoying as it is, because I really wanted to hear this engine run for this video, it's Monday, 8:40 on Monday, and I need to have this video out at some point tomorrow, which means all the footage on my camera needs to get uploaded, and I need to edit for quite a few hours. So I'm gonna have to just end it here on that victory, and then the next video or victory will be hearing it run. We'll get it put in the car and we'll get all the wiring in there, we'll make it run. Maybe even do something with the stereo. I don't know. We'll have more time at that point to be able to deal with that. I think that power steering pump is the last major issue that we should run into. I didn't think about the power steering pump being a problem once until we went to move the engine to get it in the car and start putting it in after we got that subframe mounted in there, because everything's ready for the motor to be mounted. And I thought about the fact that the power steering pump that was down there, if I left it there, it was just gonna shell. As annoying as it is to not have heard it run for this video, I'm pretty confident that this solution should work, and that at least makes me happy, because that means that now we're actually ready. Be sure to come back in 2 weeks so you can hear that VR6 run in the back of this Honda Civic. But until then, remember, don't let your meat loaf.